Many IELTS candidates feel frustrated after the listening test because they say, I understood the audio perfectly, so why is my answer wrong? The truth is, in IELTS listening, understanding alone is not enough. Accuracy is equally important. Even very small mistakes can cost you marks. For example, a spelling error, writing a singular noun instead of plural, incorrect capitalization when required, writing a number in the wrong format, exceeding the word limit. These may seem minor, but in the IELTS listening test, answers are marked as either correct or incorrect. There's no partial credit. So today we're going to focus on the most common traps that cause students to lose easy points. Hi, my name is April Ampong, and I am an instructor at IELTS Minor Review Center, an international standard IELTS training system that helps learners progress from beginner level to band 7 to 9 in the most time-efficient way. So in the previous video, we learned how to handle paraphrasing in IELTS listening. Now, we will focus on what often goes wrong after you found the correct answer. Now let's talk about spelling, which is one of the biggest reasons correct answers become incorrect in the IELTS listening test. Many students lose marks not because they misunderstood the recording, but because they wrote the word incorrectly. Some of the most common spelling errors include missing letters or extra letters, confusing sounds, mishearing vowels, and British versus American spelling. Now, regarding British and American spelling, IELTS accept both. You can either write color with a U or without U. Center ending in TRE or center ending in TER. However, your spelling must be accurate. If you choose American spelling, make sure it's spelled correctly. And if you choose British spelling, make sure that it's also correct. Consistency is also important. Avoid mixing spelling styles randomly within the test. Remember this key rule. If the spelling is wrong, the answer is wrong, even if the meaning is correct. So the examiner does not judge your intention. The marking is precise and objective. That is why developing strong spelling accuracy is essential if you want to protect your band score. Now, let's move on to another common problem area in the IELTS listening test, numbers. Numbers are a major source of lost points. Many candidates understand the context perfectly, but they mishear or miswrite a number. And that single mistake costs them a mark. You need to be specifically careful with dates, prices, phone numbers, times, durations. So each of these appear frequently in sections 1 and 2 of the listening test. One of the most common traps involve similar sounding numbers, such as 15 versus 50, 14 versus 40, 13 versus 30. For example, in 15, the stress is on the second syllable. In 50, the stress is on the first syllable. In fast speech, this difference can be subtle, so you must train your ear to notice it. Also pay attention to how numbers are grouped. For example, phone numbers are often divided into pairs or small groups. Dates may be spoken in different formats, such as the 15th of March or March 15. Prices may include decimals, such as 16.50. During the test, stay calm and focused when you hear numbers. They're often repeated, but sometimes they are corrected, which means you must listen until the speaker finishes. Remember, numbers are not difficult, but they require careful attention. So this time, let's talk about grammar traps. When answering questions, you need to pay close attention to grammar, not just meaning. There are 3 key things to focus on: singular and plural nouns, articles like a and an, and correct verb forms. First, check if the answer should be singular or plural. If the question requires a plural noun, you write a singular form, then it will be marked wrong, even if your idea is correct. Next, don't forget articles. Using a or an incorrectly or missing them completely can cost you marks. Also pay attention to verb forms. Make sure that your verbs match the subject and are in the correct tense. Remember, grammar is part of accuracy. Even small mistakes can make your answer incorrect. So always take a moment to check grammar before finalizing your answer. Instructions are part of the tests. Many candidates lose points simply because they ignore instructions. For example, you might see a direction like no more than 2 words and or a number. So this means that your answer must follow that exact limit. If you write 3 words, even if they are correct, you will lose the mark. So it's not just about understanding the answer, it's also about following the rules. Always take a moment to read the instructions carefully before the audio starts. This small step can help you avoid unnecessary mistakes and improve your overall score. At IELTS Learner Review Center, we train students to check spelling, count words carefully, review singular or plural forms, because these habits protect your score. Now that you know how to avoid these traps, it's time to focus on specific question types. So in the next video, we'll break down multiple choice questions in IELTS listening and how to eliminate wrong options quickly. So see you in the next video.